Bienvenidos, everybody. Welcome to Cuentos de las Sombras. I'm Jackie the Jackalope. I'm so happy that you are all here with me today on the TV. Yay! Today, we're going to be sharing stories from right here in the land of enchantment. New Mexico has a rich history of magical storytelling, so I've asked my friends to help me share these cuentos with everybody. So everyone, say hello to the Shadowcast. Hello, friends. Oh, a horse. I love horses. All right, well, they're going to be getting ready for the show right now. But before we begin, I must warn you, these stories today are pretty scary. As scary as shadows can be, which we'll see can cause quite a fright in viewers as old as me. Our first story comes from Valencia County, but it can be heard from all over the state of New Mexico. Chris Lopez tells us about the Taos Hum.
I'll start off with my name first, Chris Lopez, and I'm 61 years old, and I've heard the Taos Hum, for probably about close to 30 years. And when I first heard it, I was living in real communities in Belen, and I woke up one night thinking that I was hearing a refrigerator hum. And I kept on hearing this hum. It was inside the house. I would go to room to room and room. And I went to the refrigerator and checked it, and then I opened the door. And when I opened the door, the refrigerator started to work. So that kind of sucked in the sense that, it wasn't the refrigerator. And the Taos Hum has a funny hum to it. It's the closest thing I can say. It sounds like a refrigerator hum, but the frequency goes up and down. And it's kind of a kind of a hum like that. Sometimes it can have a higher pitch or a lower pitch on that. And we have, after a little research that I did myself, the Taos Hum is heard from El Paso all the way up to northern Colorado. And in this area there is the Earth's crust is very thin in this area, and they are saying that the lava is rubbing up against the crust, which causes the hum. And also Northern Europe also has the same phenomenon. And it's funny. The crazy thing about the Taos Hum where I've heard is you can hear the hum and it can get loud, but when it stops, it'll be a dead silent for a day or two. Then we either get an earthquake or a volcano. Sometimes when we have an earthquake or a volcano go off, I will hear a ping in my left ear, like if somebody lit off a firework and you hear a bing, and then it fades on down. And the funny thing is, my daughter hears it too. I have called her up sometimes and just said, "Did you hear the ping?" And she says, "Yeah, I heard the ping." And certain people hear it. A lot of people go through their lives and not even realize what they're hearing. And it's kind of a funny thing. It doesn't bother me. Sometimes I hear it late at night. And the other thing about the Taos Hum, you only hear it indoors. Apparently, somehow, the walls amplify the hum, because you walk outside and you won't hear it.
Did you ever think it was like aliens or anything like that?
No. I at first I was going crazy, really, losing my hearing or something. But I have very good ears. I have very, very good ears. That's one of the good things I have. Ears and my teeth aren't bad. It's interesting, and I've known some people. This one of my customers, she's no longer with us anymore, Martha Stewart. She was deaf as a doornail, but she had heard the hum, which was weird. I mean, it's I don't know if it's really actually the ear or some part of your ear that hears it. Not all people hear it. A lot of people probably hear it and don't even recognize what they're hearing.
Yeah.
So, but
All right.
that's what I'm doing, and I think this first came out in the late '70s is where I heard that people started realizing it, and some people have moved away from New Mexico because they couldn't take the hum. And
Do you feel it at all, or is it just a hearing?
it's just a hearing in it, and it's like a hum. Like right now, I hear it a little bit now, and it's going up and down a little bit, and it's kind of typical. It goes up and down, up and down, up and down. It's not very. It's not a constant flat hum. The frequency always tends to go, and sometimes the frequency will go quicker, and but when it does stop, when you all of a sudden you don't hear it, there's going to be something happening. Yeah. And I've heard the earthquake in off of New Zealand, Churchtown, and then I heard the other one, and that one was weird because I heard that one, and the hum happened. And the next day, the earthquake happened, but the hum didn't go away. That's when they had that big earthquake in China about a week or 2 weeks later, and that was the one there. And,
did you hear it ping anytime recently? Because I think there was some.
I did hear a ping about 3 weeks ago, and I think that was Mount Etna in Italy, but you know the whole Earth's crust is connected together, so these pings can be anywhere in the world. I mean, Indonesia, Australia, China, the one in Peru. We have the volcanic activity here in the thing is huge, and my theory has always been, and it's also proven fact, volcanoes are the main changers of Earth's atmosphere because of the ash and the gas and everything that gets put out. I mean, who knows how much stuff, and when a volcano erupts, we don't know what it's putting out. It could be tons of sulfur, tons of carbon dioxide, tons of who knows what. And, like the volcano in Hawaii, I heard that one. And that one went off for 4 months, where it was putting lava into the ocean. And that year we had a lot of snow. But, you put all that lava in there and the steam goes up, it has to go somewhere, it has to come down somewhere. Yeah. And Mount St. Helens was another big changers of atmosphere. That put us into a 10-year cooling period in the 80s. But, it's just, we can't control anything out of the atmosphere anyway. I mean, we're just along for the ride.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Hello? I can't get to the phone right now, but I'll give you a call back. Just leave me a message. Bueno, bye.
Hey, Dad. It's happening again. The hum. It's pretty loud this time. It sounds like it's right over the house, but I don't see anything, but yeah, it's loud, Dad. Dad, I'm scared. When are you coming home? I know you can hear it too. It's just so loud. It's like singing. Does that make sense? Have you ever heard it do that? Big truck. Sounds like something's out there, but I don't see. Oh, wait. It's windy outside. Like real windy. Is it a tornado? Do those even happen here? I don't think tornadoes happen on clear days though. there's like no clouds in the sky. Except one. That one. Huh? That's just one big cloud right above the house. It's really bright. Whoa. It's so big. Dad? When are you coming home? Dad, I can't see anything. But the hum's gone now. It's gone. But I don't know where I am. It's finally quiet, but I'm lost in, I don't know, my mind. Dad? Where am I? There's someone. The light is so bright and I can't make out who. But I'm not afraid, Dad? Why am I not afraid? They seem... they're nice? No. Not bad. They're taking care of us, Dad. We're gonna be okay, Dad. They're taking care of us. They love us, Dad. They do this because they love us. And they let us choose. Dad, they say we can go home now. We're coming home now, Dad. Don't worry about us. We'll see you soon. Maybe we can rent a movie tonight. Anyways, love you. Bye.
Ooh-wee, how scary. Those alien stories always freak me out. Beep-pop-pop-a-doop-pop, ah! And it's not just Roswell. Supernatural things are happening all over this mysterious land we call home. And sometimes it's so spooky, we have to pick up a whole town and move it down the road. Like in this next story from Denny Villanueva, it's El Diablo de Cabezon.
When we were kids, Stacy, he's a friend of mine's. Well, I've known him. I was raised with him, but he was, he was a big guy. He's about 6'5", weighed about 240 at the time. He was young. Mm-hmm. But then he comes and was telling us about when he was a young kid. He was at Cabezon. You know where San Luis is? Mm-hmm. Cabezon. Mm-hmm. And actually, Cabezon Mountain, there was a town at the base of it. But there's a lot of stuff going on at the base of the mountain. So what they did is crazy in Land of Enchantment. So there was a lot of stuff going on. So they moved the town a little bit further out, which is San Luis.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they moved the town because it was...
There was something, was a lot of stuff was going on there at the base of Cabezon. For some reason, well, if you look at it, it looks like, what is it? Like that movie, Close Encounters, where they had the picture of the mountain. Yeah. Well, that's what it reminded me of. But anyway, he comes in and he was telling us the story of when he was young. He was on a horse. This is a hefty guy. Stacy was a big guy. Anyway, he said he's riding the horse, going to the base of Cabezon with herding the cattle, and all of a sudden his horse starts rearing up. Like, what the heck's going on? You know, there's nothing around. There's rattlesnakes. There's no snakes or nothing. All of a sudden, in the way far distance, the way he told us, in the distance, there's a big black horse coming towards him, like galloping fast. He says, his horse is going nuts. He's like, whoa, getting shivers. Like, whoa, how come this big black horse is coming up? And as the horse approaches him, he's like, who's on the horse? Didn't see a body or nothing. All of a sudden he looks, the horse comes sideways. There's like a baby. And I'm getting chills. The baby goes in Spanish, mira mis dientes. In other words, look at my teeth. He said the horse reared up and he freaked out and he just raced back. And he went back. The horse is sweaty. He gets off and but he looked back after he's running, driving the horse for a long ways from the base to the city. He looks back. Nothing was after him anymore. Just disappeared. See, there's a book on there about who else was saying that they saw something. There's a man under a tree. No, a man went up to a tree and he looked down. There's a baby there. Said the same thing. Look at my teeth.
What's funny is you told me that story growing up, and then I was looking through these books and I found it, and the baby said the same thing in the stories. In the story I read, it starts to transform. Like the writer puts the baby behind him to like take it home, and then he feels it grow and change into El Diablo or something. Like feels the hair and the teeth.
That's why a lot of people have, like I said, in Cabezon, there's strange things that have happened at the base. Because there's the town that was built on the base. But there's too many land of enchantment. There's a lot of stuff that happens over here.
Mira mis dientes. Oh, no, I don't have any dientes. Ah! Oh, no. Oh, well, I'll find them one day. Then I can show you my big, beautiful smile. Well, we only have one cuento left for the show, and this one comes from the heart of Albuquerque's Old Town. Marion Krause tells us about the time she saw one of New Mexico's most famous mythical figures, La Llorona. Oh.
Well, I remember it was a beautiful day, and I'm walking around in Old Town, enjoying the breeze, passing all the vendors in the plaza. And I remember that behind the bookstore, there was a little chapel that's always open. And I had gone there a long time ago, but I decided to pay the chapel another visit. And I go inside and I respectfully cross the threshold of the chapel. And there's no artificial light in there, just the sun shining through a translucent round window. Beautiful. Showing what I believe to be the phases of the moon. And in front of me were a pillar of candles and glass vases and on the floor and on the shelves. And most of them were lit, giving a dancing light to the little chapel. Lit in memoriam, lit in hope, lit in prayer. And I hear someone softly weeping over deeper into the chapel. I look in that direction of the sound and I see a thin, frail, feminine figure in a black, lacy garment, kneeling on one of those built-in benches against the wall, you know? Her head is bowed, and not wanting to disturb her, I walk toward the baptismal front in the center of the structure. And to my surprise, there is a little bit of holy water in the bowl of the baptismal front. When I had been to this place before, the bowl has always been dry. And people, that always go to this chapel says there's always no water. But there was. And then all of a sudden, that weeping got louder. And just with a few words. And the woman mumbled something about her son. And then something about being over the water. And then something else that I didn't understand. But I'm uncomfortable But she seemed to be seeking solace from me, like asking me questions without looking at me. So finally I said, "Is your son overseas?" And she said nothing, like all of a sudden stopped. And so I got a little closer and I said, "Is your son a soldier?" And she lifted her head, turned, and her Her eyes fiercely stared into mine. I saw her immensely wrinkled, aged face. Each line in her skin seemed to represent a year of pain, loss, and suffering. And she shrieks and begins rising from the bench, her eyes fixated upon me. I jump to the other side of the baptismal font, putting it between me and her, and I'm shaking. And then I just run out the door. And outside, everything is so calm, and the Zia sun shining brightly as if there's not a care in the world.
Thanks for joining us today for Cuentos de las Sombras. We'd love to hear what you think. Do you want to see more stories like these? Do you have stories that you want to share with us? If so, send us an email at info@blackouttheater.com or mail Blackout Theater at P.O. Box 40153, Albuquerque, New Mexico 87196. I'm Jackie the Jackalope, and these are my friends. Welcome back, friends. You did a great job. Say goodbye to everybody. Good night. Good night. Good night. Ooh, that one was scary. Good night. Bye. Good night. Good night. Bye. Bye-bye. Good night.